Thanks for joining us. I'm Bridget Shanahan.
And I'm Vince Vetrano. New information on that deadly hit-and-run crash at 84th and Wilbur. Police have arrested 5 suspects accused of taking off after their stolen SUV smashed into 2 cars yesterday. The 2 people killed in the crash identified as Bernard and Mary Hansen of Milwaukee. Another woman was hurt but is expected to recover. The 5 suspects range in age from just 14 years old to age 20.
In light of the deadly fire that killed a toddler in Wauwatosa over the weekend, we wanted to know what families can do to be prepared. The #1 tip is to make sure you get out and stay out. It's also important to not only have a safety plan for your family in case of a fire, but to also practice it. Fire officials say half the families with a plan don't ever do a run-through. A good plan identifies 2 ways out of every room and sets up a meeting place outside the home.
A fire could happen at any time during the day, so you really need to practice your escape plan early in the morning, during the middle of the day, and late at night before or during bedtime.
One of the most common problems fire officials told us they see is kids, even sometimes adults, hiding in closets to try and escape the fire. It's best, of course, to always get out.
A protest planned in Milwaukee today for people against the right-to-work legislation. If that passes, private sector workers would no longer be required to join a union or pay union dues as a condition of employment. The protest in Milwaukee is set for 5 o'clock at Zeidler Park. Republican Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald wants to fast-track the legislation, meaning a vote could come Wednesday or Thursday of this week.
Now that a casino in Kenosha is off the table, the Menominee tribe is considering growing marijuana to make a profit. The tribal legislature told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel it is not a done deal. The tribe still has a number of legal hurdles to clear before it could start growing marijuana on their reservation near Shawano.
Wisconsin sturgeon spearing season officially has come to an end now. Spearers reached the limit early Saturday. DNR reporting more than 2,100 sturgeon brought in. Nearly 1,900 of those fish came from Lake Winnebago alone.
Another cold start to this morning as temperatures drop to 5 below here in Milwaukee and as cold as 12 below in the inland areas under a clear sky. And we have plenty of sunshine during the day today, but clouds will be filtering in later this evening and overnight tonight. That'll help keep the temperature up just a little bit, and we will even squeeze out a little bit of snow out of this. Not much by late tonight into early tomorrow morning, less than a ½ inch across most of the area. That'll fall sometime between 4 and probably about 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Lows this morning, as I mentioned, 5 below Milwaukee, 15 below in Green Bay, almost 20 below in Eau Claire, and it was 22 below in Rhinelander. Their wind chill this morning in Rhinelander was 43 below. It's currently at 15 below, so still below zero statewide. Colder to the north, obviously, and everyone's enjoying the sunshine. But with that said, it still feels like 6 below in Lake Geneva, 8 below in West Bend, and 9 below in Port Washington, as well as Racine. The temperatures around the area are basically in the single digits, and we're going to gradually warm up to around 11 degrees this afternoon. Southwest winds at 10 to 15. That's going to keep those wind chills between about 5 and 10 below. The normal high is 35. We are nowhere near that today, despite all that sun. The big issue becomes the wind later this evening and tonight out of the southwest in front of the next cold front. We're going to get into the warm sector, quote-unquote warm sector of the storm system. But look at these winds, 30 to 35. Could even see some isolated gusts around 40 miles per hour overnight tonight and into the morning hours. Some spots seeing gusts over 40 miles per hour. That is going to make it cold. Even though temperatures are going to be rising into the teens by morning, wind chills will still be at least 10 below zero and will stay below zero throughout the days tomorrow, even though we'll see temperatures getting into the 20s. Here's tomorrow afternoon. The winds start to shift to the northwest as the next cold front arrives. So this is a brief warm-up, if you want to call it that, as the winds will make it feel not so nice. The high pressure is bringing us the sunshine today, also the lighter winds, but as I mentioned, the clouds will roll in tonight. We'll see a little bit of light snow ahead of this warm front, and we'll be in the warm sector of the storm system for most of the day tomorrow. The gusty southwest winds, as I mentioned, 20, 30, even 40 miles per hour, will keep those wind chills much colder. Then the cold front comes through in the evening hours, shifts that wind back to the northwest, and it gets cold. The snow off to the west of us on Wednesday will stay southwest and then dip down into Illinois. We'll just have a few clouds from that during the day on Wednesday. For today, 11 degrees, plenty of sunshine. It looks great. It doesn't feel great with wind chills below zero. The winds crank up overnight tonight, 20, 30, maybe even 40 miles per hour. We'll see some flurries and light snow develop after 4 a.m. and the temperatures will rise after midnight. After a low of 7, we'll get up to around 14 degrees by early tomorrow morning. They'll keep rising to 28 degrees throughout the day. Wind chills will be in the single digits with those gusty winds. 15 on Wednesday. Thursday, after a morning low of 0, get up to 12, and then warming up into the 20s this weekend with snow likely Saturday night and Sunday.